Hi, it's Mary with Rusty's Remuda, and today I wanted to read you our very first book, Rusty Under the Western Skies. It's all about Rusty in his pasture during a storm and the choices he makes. It's still probably my favorite cover with all the beautiful skies colors, and it's a lot of people's favorite cover. Storms are an interesting thing, whether it's a literal storm from the weather or a storm in life, a hard thing that we face or a challenge we sometimes call a storm. And sometimes the only control we have over anything in a storm is how we respond to it, the choices that we make. And I feel like Rusty has a lot he can teach us about how to respond to a storm. Also in the book, there's a meadowlark on every page. A meadowlark is our state bird, and a lot of people love the meadowlark for its really unique song that it makes. So we'll watch for the meadowlark on every page, and we'll watch for the metaphors, because storms have a smell and a look and a feel, and we have metaphors in there to represent those things. So let's read and find out what Rusty decides to do in a storm that he's in. Have you seen the grand show of a storm in the sky? You can smell a storm too, if you give it a try. That's how a horse knows when a billow is coming, sensing it clearly like loud, distant drumming. That's exactly what happened in the heat of that day as Rusty grazed quietly. The blue sky turned gray. It has some drums to represent sometimes the sounds that you hear when a storm comes. The scent of the storm gave his sniffer a tickle, the way a soft feather can cause a slim prickle. It caused him to wonder if a smell could be wet, as it turned in his nose like a mini pirouette. There's a ballerina doing a pirouette and some feathers. The breeze brought fragrances in the soft wind. They floated like notes from a tuned violin. The air mostly hinted of grass freshly cut, mixed in with aroma of hickory nut. Such smells are the kind that brought his nose pleasure, so he paused for a moment to enjoy the sweet treasure. There's some musical notes and the meadowlark and a violin and some hickory nuts. Then a twisting gust stirred up his mane and his tail. The tingle it caused down his back left a trail. The skinny fine hairs on his legs felt a prick, like a cold spinning wisp that puts out a small wick. The cloud's crazy colors began to unfold. They looked like mixed paint, a sight to behold. One of my favorite things about a storm is all the crazy colors that come in the sky. The sky filled with hues of black, blue, and steel as the storm began rolling like a big wagon wheel. A new fragrance drifted into Rusty's muzzle. It resembled sweet tea that you just want to guzzle. A puff of the wind made him take a long whiff. A breeze mixed with scents make a horse want to sniff. All the interesting smells caused Rusty to note he was feeling cold air down in his throat. That's when the rain started hammering down, and you'd think on his face there would be a big frown. It pelted and soaked his shiny orange hair, but he didn't much act like he gave it a care. Are you seeing the meadowlark in every page? There's some hammers, the rain hammering down, as we say. Rusty noticed the barn was open and dry. He had a quick thought to give it a try, but it left just as fast as the storm had rolled in. As he felt the bold force of the cold, crazy wind, he decided to race straight into that gale. His pace caused the rush to whip up his blonde tail. Then Rusty jumped up with his nose to the ground, cut the air right in two with a thud for the sound. It happened just when a lightning bolt struck, and that funny horse thought the sound came from his buck. The rain poured down hard upon his strong back. The thunder was loud, like a whip that you crack. Rusty danced in the squall, the earth his big stage. If it was a show, it would be all the rage. The strength that he used as he danced in the storm made him want to show off crazy moves and perform. The prickles kept coming all over his skin as the water flew off in the shape of a fin. His pasture was taking a new kind of shape. Right in the middle, it looked like a lake. There's even a fish jumping in there. Then Rusty decided to slide to a stop as the rain changed from heavy to barely a drop. He paused for a moment and took in the clean air. As he held his head high, his nostrils did flare. All those smells that had stirred up the inside of his nose quickly just softened like an opening rose. The crazy thing was, when the storm moved on by, everything became still without even a sigh. Though Rusty was soaked, his hair twisted in knots, he went right back to grazing with very few thoughts of the huge hurly-burly that stirred up his day and turned his fenced pasture into a ballet. He didn't much care that the next one would too, as he pulled out more grass and gave it a chew. A rainbow was left as the big grand finale. It gracefully touched each side of the valley. The hot sun returned and dried off Rusty's hair. He's just a good horse without much of a care. So we can see from the story that Rusty had the choice to go in the barn, but he decided he would just dance in the storm and make the best of it and have fun and do what he loved. So I think that we can all see from Rusty that sometimes that's a good choice for us too. Sometimes we maybe should go in the barn, but sometimes it's okay to just go out in the storm and make the best of it. So I hope that's what all you guys are doing in these times. I know it's been hard times, but we're all getting through, and I cannot wait to see you all and your faces again soon. Bye-bye.